Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Julia. I like to make content about daily life and especially about K-pop stuff. And today we are talking about solo concert going or going to concerts by yourself. I made a quick TikTok asking people if they would want a video about concert going, especially about going to concerts by yourself, and actually a bunch of people did request it, so I wanted to make a quick sit-down video just to talk about my experience of going to concerts by myself, and also just some tips, advice, and also just to give some more information about going to concerts by yourself, just so this video can kind of serve to either encourage you to go or also give you more input if you're making that decision right now whether to go to that concert by yourself. And spoiler, you should go to the concert. But yeah, this video is just to ease anyone's nerves, give some tips, and even just to normalize going to events. It doesn't have to be concerts by yourself, and removing that stigma about it. And I'm also wanting to make this video because I know that the BTS concerts are coming up finally, and many people might be interested in going to that. So hopefully this will also give you encouragement to go to those Bangtan concerts by yourself as well. And if you see me looking to the side, it's because I have my laptop here just to go over any notes and make sure I'm hitting all the points that I wrote down. But quick overview of why you should go to the concert by yourself. You only live once, duh. But in serious, if you love the artist, you should just go and enjoy yourself. You don't need someone else to have a good time, and you probably won't regret going, you know? Also, more and more people nowadays are going to concerts by themselves, so if you're worried about that, it's definitely become a more growing trend. But disclaimer, I am only recommending this for adults, so if you're over 18, if you are younger, I recommend always going to a concert with someone, especially an adult or at least a guardian with you, and be super safe. But just to give a quick overview of how the structure of this video is going to go, I'm going to go into a little bit about my experience of going to concerts, and then going into specifically what it's like ticketing, getting into the concert venue, what it's like when you're there, during the actual concert, and then getting back home. But first off, from my own experience, if you've seen either my TikToks or my videos, I've gone to a bunch of different concerts and events by myself. As of today, my first one was actually a Day 6 concert. I was freshly 18 in college, and I went down to LA to go to their concert because I love Day 6. I didn't have anyone to go with. It was literally my first year of college, like within the first couple months, so I didn't really know anyone there. None of my friends back home really stand Day 6, so I was like, might as well just go. Might as well have a good time. I don't know the next time that they'll be coming back to the US, so I decided to just pull the trigger and go. And I had an amazing, great time seeing them. They were amazing. Other concerts I've been to by myself, I've been to an NCT Dream concert by myself. I recently went to see P1 by myself in October. I've seen TXT in LA by myself. And I've seen 17 a bunch of times by myself because they're literally my ults and none of my friends currently stand them. So I've actually been to both concerts and a festival for 17. I've also been to other events like pop-ups such as for P1 Harmony, J-Hope, Hobie, and 17 pop-ups of course. Also background, if you haven't seen my videos, I am someone who has immense social anxiety. Like, it's bad. Unfortunately, it's really bad for me having to talk to new people and things like that. But I will say that I've never ever regretted going to any of these events by myself, even though it is something that like might seem scary. And at all these events, I would say that I've had varying types of experience, whether that be meeting new friends either in line, at my seat, while waiting, or also just keeping to myself the entire time, because definitely there have been concerts where I've done that and it's totally fine and no one thinks it's weird. But now I'll go more into the specific details about each step of going to the concert by yourself. And again, these can relate both to either concerts or pop-ups. First, I'll talk about ticketing. In my experience, sometimes it actually is easier to ticket by yourself for concerts because you're not limited to what other people want or their budgets or things like that. It's mainly what you want yourself. And especially nowadays with ticketing being a battle zone, it's very hard to get tickets for like at least 2 people, 3 or 4. But for yourself, sometimes it's so much easier because there are a lot more options left available when you get into the queue. However, a con with that as well is that unfortunately nowadays, specifically through Ticketmaster, sometimes they make you buy tickets in twos. Like you can't leave one seat by itself, it has to buy 2. However, I have worked around that. I have had to unfortunately buy 2 tickets and then I just resale the second one. But I will say a risk with that sometimes is demand, just in case. For the group, if the demand isn't too high, it might be a little bit difficult reselling tickets, but I've usually never had any problems with that. Number 2, getting to the venue itself. If you live in a very public transit friendly city, I highly recommend taking public transit to concerts. For me, I specifically live in the Bay Area, so whenever there's concerts like in Oakland at specifically Oakland Arena, I usually take part, whether that be with friends or by myself. And usually with concerts, there's a lot of people taking public transit. I know with BART specifically, there's usually always a crowd on BART either before or after the concert, just depending on when you go. And with that, I highly recommend always going on public transit to the concert when there's still daylight out. So if the concert's at night, try to leave before sunset, so just that you're on the train with a bunch more people, and also it's still light out and everything. Also, taking public transit is much more cost efficient for you as well. I would also just recommend for safety researching your public transit options beforehand, just to make sure that they're safe, and also to see which is the popular lines that people would take. But yeah, in my experience with the Bay Area, usually there's at least a good amount of concert goers on public transit, so I wouldn't worry about you being the only one on there. Another recommendation is if you can get a ride from someone, either a friend or family member, there and back would also be a good option if you're going by yourself. And lastly, another option for getting there is ride sharing. Safely, I would say, whether that be through apps of like Lyft and things like that, or there's also the rideshare option of going with other concert goers. How that usually works is sometimes there are Facebook groups that people join and they offer rides, or people looking for rides where you'll split parking or split gas. I've done this option a few times now, offering rides to other solo concert goers when I'm with my friends. Usually my friend and I, we would go and we want to split parking with other people just to make it more cost efficient. So we'd offer rides in a Facebook group chat. We've done this for BTS 2 times now. We've done it for PTD when we were in LA, and also for Hobie's concert. So again, we just go on there and post that we have 2 spots available in our car, and then we pick them up from wherever and we go to the concert together. But again, be sure to be safe if you're doing this option. Share your location with anyone. However, I will say that most people on those Facebook group chats usually are very safe and are just trying to help keep the cost down, you know. Also, for getting to the venue, I know that a bunch of people unfortunately do have to travel to get to concerts nowadays. I know I'm very privileged to be living in California, where I can either go to concerts in the Bay or sometimes in LA. And I know that can be a very costly adventure to be able to do that. I don't have too many tips about getting to concerts, especially if they're ones that you have to fly to by yourself. But I would say for myself, what I've done is I've stayed with people in the area if I am traveling further out. Like especially with LA, I'm very lucky enough to have friends or family that either live in the area that I'm able to stay with during these concerts to kind of just keep that cost down. I would also recommend, if you are going to like a new place to travel to, maybe suggesting for people to go with you to that new state or that new city for like a small little vacation, but then you go off to the concert by yourself, kind of just to keep those costs down for number 1, travel, and 2, accommodations. At least 1 or 2 times I have dragged my friend with me to LA, even though she doesn't stand 17. She's been willing to go to LA with me just to have a little few-day vacation, and then I go off to a concert for a little bit, and then we have a vacation for the rest of the time that we're there. Editing me here, I realized I didn't even talk about the most obvious option, which is just driving yourself to the venue, aka taking your own car there, which I've done a multitude of times already, but I will say for this option it is the most highest in cost, which is why I do kind of recommend trying to take other options. But I will say it is also the most comfortable option, specifically like for me, because I'm not relying on anyone else and I can kind of just go on my own timeline. And also just a recommendation for getting parking itself, I would say try to get it as early as possible, because sometimes we kind of forget about it till last minute and then sometimes it sells out. Like that literally happened to me once for 17 and I was kind of stressed. I know sometimes you can actually purchase it also in person when you get there, but again, it could sell out or it could be more expensive when you get there. Like sometimes they add an extra cost, like of $5. So try to get it as early as possible with parking passes. Number 3, when you're actually at the concert / socializing. I will start off saying mostly everyone are nice people. Emphasis on most. I would say majority of the people that I have met at these concerts, super nice people, all there to just have a good time. But again, I can't say that for everyone because probably there are a couple bad seeds, but I've never actually run into any of those. And like I said, there's been a much more increase of people going to these concerts by themselves, so maybe you'll meet other solo concert goers there. Starting off, when you get there, you can either socialize with people or keep to yourself. It's really up to you which one you want to do. There's no need to force yourself to talk to other people. People aren't going to be judging you for going to the concert by yourself or being like, where are her friends? No one thinks about that. No one really, even if they do, if they see you standing alone, they're probably gonna think, oh, they're probably waiting for someone. So no need to worry that someone will be judging you for being there by yourself. And if they do, they're weird for that. Like I said, I've done it before where I didn't really talk to anyone during the concerts at all because I wanted to keep to myself, or I ended up making friends with people I met along the way, which is again very wild for me as someone with social anxiety. Again, very nice people that I met. Like one time I went to this festival in LA that 17 was randomly playing at. Had no idea what was going on. I got there. I just asked a couple of questions to the girl next to me in line. I ended up sticking with her the entire time and we made friends with the people we were standing with at the festival because we were literally standing there for like 8 hours. So you could literally meet anyone anywhere. But if you do decide to socialize, here are just a couple of tips that I have for trying to socialize at these concerts with someone with mad anxiety. Number one, I know people have met mutual people online at these concerts. Like they make friends online either through TikTok, Twitter, things like that. And then they meet in person at these concerts for the first time. If you are doing that, be sure that you're safe. And I know people have done this safely as well. Number two tip I have is freebies. I would say freebies are an easy way to approach people, whether that be at your seat, in line, things like that. Because the freebies kind of give you an excuse to go up to someone to be like, hey, would you like a freebie? Or if someone is offering freebies, for you to go up to them and be like, hey, can I have a freebie type of vibe, you know? It's a good way to just initiate a conversation with someone. And if you do decide to make freebies don't have to be anything big. They do not need to be a whole baggie of something or keychains or anything like that. They can literally just be like a note, a photo, a sticker, anything like that. Anything small, someone will appreciate it. And also you don't need to make 10 billion freebies. I know that that's the trend nowadays, is to make a lot and hand them out to everyone as much as you can. But you can make as little as you want. You can make as much as you want. It's totally up to you because in the grand scheme of things, these are freebies. They are free things that you're making with your heart to give out to other people. Number three tip is just to ask a simple question to someone, whether that be, hey, do you know where the bathroom is? Hey, do you know what time this is going on? Hey, do you know where the line is? Like things like that. Very simple to just go up to someone and ask a simple question. Number one, to get help, but also number two, to break the ice. And also just to continue the conversation once that happens, you can ask simple things like, who's your bias? Who made you start standing the group? Things like that. Again, people love to talk about their bias. They love to talk about their experience in K-pop. So, easy way just to start a conversation with someone. Or if you're at a pop-up, you can ask things like, oh, do you know what they're selling? Do you know if they're sold out of this? Blah, 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 things. Just simple questions just to start the conversation moving. Just talking a little bit more about my own experiences at these events and concerts. Like I mentioned before, I went to a P1 Harmony pop-up in LA, and it was when they were at the Hello 82 one, actually working as staff. And I was fully prepared to just get there, keep to myself, whatever vibe. But once I got in line, we were in line for a very long time. Like I got there pretty early. And I actually ended up making friends with the girls in front of me, and we did so just by freaking out over a video of them. Like literally we were all waiting to see what was going on because we didn't actually know if P1 is going to be like working as staff, if they were just going to pop in or things like that. So we were all looking on Twitter the entire time. And what happened was I saw a video of them and I started freaking out. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then kind of got their attention through that. We were just starting to talk to each other by constantly giving updates on what videos we were seeing of P1 inside the venue. And yeah, that's what happened. Like they were two friends that were there and they just let me tag along with them for the rest of the day while we were inside the pop-up. It was a chill time. And number four, I would say just to walk around the venue while you're there. That's definitely a way to just try to meet new people, see what's going on, see what's happening. A good way to hand out freebies or collect freebies as well. And usually that's what I do when I try to socialize more, or like see what's going on. And if I want to keep to myself, then usually once I get in, I just hang out at my seat. Now on the other side again, if you don't want to socialize, that's totally fine. No one is going to get mad. No one is going to care. It's your day to experience it however you want. For me, when that happens, which is a good amount of the time that I'm there, what happens usually is just I get in line, I disassociate. I kind of just zone out. No one minds. No one is paying attention to me, and that's totally fine. If you're one that kind of has a more difficult time disassociating, tips I would have then is just make sure that your phone is charged, that you have a portable charger, you have games on your phone, you have TikTok on your phone, something to do to keep yourself busy while you're there. Or you could also FaceTime your own friends who aren't there, things like that. I've done that before where I've called my friend because I'm like freaking out about something, or I just need to talk to someone for a little bit while I'm there. But again, make sure that you have a charger. Even if you are socializing, always make sure to bring a portable charger to these concerts because you're there for a pretty long time, I would say. So again, literally no pressure to be at these concerts and socializing with other people. This concert's for you to have fun and for you to experience it however you want. So lastly for this section, just talking quickly about taking photos at concert, because I know that we all love to take our concert photos, especially of our fit, and just to have memories of while we're there. This portion for me, kind of nerve-wracking because number one, I hate taking photos of myself, but I love to get the concert photo in. Like, I want to remember the fit that I had on. And it's mainly nerve-wracking for me because I can't ask people. I get so nervous having to ask people to take my photo, especially strangers, having to go up to them for that. So I will admit that most of the time I've had to like either find a ledge or like something to prop up my phone onto to take the photos. Sometimes I've used my bag, like, because my bag has a zipper, I like stick my phone in there to like prop it up like this inside, but the camera doesn't get covered. I've definitely engineered different ways to take photos at concerts. If you've seen my vlogs, I've talked about it before. But I will also say that I feel like a couple of times people have seen me like trying to take photos by myself, or like have seen other people take photos by themselves. I've done it as well. If I see someone trying to take a photo of themselves, most likely people will try to offer to help, and I have gladly taken the offers. And especially though, if you see someone who's also by themselves at a concert trying to take their photo, you can do kind of a little trade. Like, just offer to take their photos, and then once they're done, also ask, hey, can you also take mine as well? It's a nice little trade to have with someone. If you ask someone to take your photos, most of the time, 99% of the time, they will be more than willing to help you take that photo. Me, myself, and I just have mad anxiety to go up and ask someone to take it, especially because like actually taking the photo is already nerve-wracking in itself for me. But number 4, during the actual concert, my number 1 recommendation, have fun. Literally no one else is going to be paying attention to you. They're all going to be paying attention to the artist who's on stage. So let loose, have a good time. You paid the money to be there, so it's your time to let loose and have fun. Especially if you do go by yourself, you can be as wild as you want without feeling like, ooh, my friend is gonna see like this side of me, you know? Sometimes I think about that. If I were to bring someone who doesn't really know the group that well, and I'm like a diehard stan, I will feel like, ooh, they're gonna see me like this. But if you're by yourself, girl, who cares? You can be as wild as you want because the only person who's gonna remember is yourself. However, please remember as well to be as wild as you want, but respectful that you are in a public space. Also, if there's something during the concert that you want to remember, or if you want to tell someone else, I would recommend just filming yourself and taking videos of it. Like, the amount of videos I have of me taking random commentary to either remember for myself or tell someone later is kind of wild, but I kind of love it as well because I have my own memories of me, like my reactions to the concert. Like, it's kind of fun.
I swear to God, Joshua tank top will be the end of me.
And also, as you can tell, I've been trying to vlog a lot more of me at these concerts, whether if I'm with someone or by myself. So recommend also if you want to start vlogging to do it. It's a fun way to capture memories and have them to look back on. And also, if you are by yourself at these concerts, it's a good way to kind of just keep yourself busy, to like have something to do. And also, like, it makes it look like you're talking to someone else. So especially at K-pop concerts, no one is gonna mind that you're taking a video of yourself. Either they'll think it's for a TikTok or for a vlog, and it's mainly just normal now. And number 5, getting home. This is all kind of just linking back to how you got to the concert and how to wrap up those scenarios. But number 1, if you're taking public transit, highly recommend following the crowd, leaving when everyone else leaves, so that once you're on public transit, there's still a lot of concert goers who are on it as well with you. Like, for example, in the Bay Area, if I'm going by myself, I'm gonna rush straight to BART because number 1, everyone else is rushing straight to BART, and number 2, that means there's gonna be a bunch of concert goers on BART who you'll usually feel the most safe with. Number 2, if you decided to rideshare, be sure to make sure where the pickup locations are. If you're doing a third-party app, if you found a ride from someone else there, make sure when you get to the concert itself to set up like a meetup location, because a lot of the time service there after concerts can be pretty spotty, so it's hard to message people. So be sure to have that meetup location, whether that be a certain lamppost once you're outside of the parking lot or the car itself. Sometimes I would recommend making a meetup spot outside of the parking lot because you either forget the car or things like that. It's just good to have a certain location itself that you can remember. But overall, the recommendation is just to follow the crowd. I know people like to stay after the concert, especially I do too, just like to sit in my own thoughts and try to comprehend everything that happened. But if you're by yourself, I would just recommend trying to get out of there sooner than later. And as always, make sure to keep people updated about your location and have it shared with someone if you're able to. But I think that's majority of the tips I currently have of going to concerts by yourself. Again, I highly recommend going to these concerts, whether that be by yourself or not. If you can't find someone to go with you, you don't need someone to. You can have a good time all by yourself. And especially with how the world is going, I would highly recommend going to the concerts, because most likely you will regret not going to the concert versus regretting going by yourself. And for me, I'd rather face my fears of my social anxiety for a couple of hours than to miss out on my faves. Because again, you never know when they're coming back. You never know what's gonna happen. So if you're able to, take advantage of being able to see them. But again, I think that's everything I have for now. I hope at least one tip in this video was helpful for you, or something gave you a little bit of a nudge, a push of encouragement to be able to go to these concerts by yourself. Again, go to the concert, see your faves, go to the event, have fun, live your life, see your faves. If there's anything I didn't cover, please let me know in the comments. If you have any other questions about going to concerts by yourself, any questions about my experience, either at these concerts, either by myself or going with other people, please let me know in the comments. Share your experiences if you have any for going to concerts by yourself. And also let me know what concert you're going to next. For me, it's Bangtan! We are seeing Bangtan in May in Sanborn. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, anything you want to do. Hope to see you at a future concert, whether that be with someone or by yourself. You should go to the concert. But I'll see you next time. Bye, besties.